EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play, and they lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here come the Jets to take over. Led at quarterback by a man back to full health in season number 20 now, and his second one in New York, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. The numbers for Hall in last week's ball game. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's Rodgers. Going right back to Wilson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. 20, 10. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
So the new-look Steelers offense headed out for their first drive, led by a man in his 13th NFL season now. First is a Steeler, Russell Wilson.
After a tough couple of years in Denver, Wilson finally gets his fresh start, and he's certainly hoping to make the most of it. Truthfully, though, it's been tough sledding ever since being traded from Seattle a few years back, but he still has the talent and tools to make this next chapter a positive one.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Running it, Washington. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson dancing to, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Russell Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point in the season. And that to the 30. It'll be second down. You look at this Steeler defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 2. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's across midfield, and he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Paul on to give up the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. To throw is Rodgers. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's number 1 goal is to throw that timing off.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A short one there to Freiermuth. Broken tackle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. A first carry for Najee Harris. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Wilson. Caught on the slant. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Calvin Austin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to add on to that lead. Boswell for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good kick pays off as he's only able to get this out past the 10-yard line.
New York set to take the field.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now Rodgers.
They'll set up the screen for Hall. He's into space past the 25.
And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Rodgers going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Rodgers again now.
Throwing quickly to Wilson. And the Jets are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Now it's Rodgers. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Jets have cut it back within a score.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. This Pittsburgh offense led by Calvin Austin running back out.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Evades the tackler and now some space. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 31 yards there and a 1st down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
45 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
And how nice is it to have a guy like Najee Harris in the backfield when you get down near the goal line? He can use his 230-plus pound frame to just get you those tough yards, and he finishes things off here with a touchdown run.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, those body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him. On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris.
So he'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air.
Yeah.
I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
Now Wilson.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here.
The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a 1-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Rodgers to throw once more. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. Rodgers now to throw. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. Pushing his way through. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum. Or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top. Or you now feel like you have an extra down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid.
And he's going to go down again. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. New York ready to go again offensively. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
His pass complete to Ruckert. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's second down. Now Rodgers. He'll get this to Lazard. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Throwing is Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Allen Lazard from 8 yards out. And the Jets are back within a couple of the lead. Rodgers will throw for it. Steps away to his left. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And with a successful two-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Powering his way forward. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Here's Wilson to throw. Finds Pickens outright. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Finding Pickens for another catch. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They go play action with Wilson. And he's got some space here. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. 23 yards on the tuck and run. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now it's Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. Play action. It's Wilson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards, the final tally. Now it's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th. Harris running straight ahead. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They go play action now. Wilson under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there, a big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Now a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Rodgers.
Outright, he's got Ruckert.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action, Rodgers. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Rodgers going to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now Rodgers.
Connection made to Ruckert.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard.
Now it's Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
The Steelers offense and running back Najee Harris set to take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Throwing is Wilson. Being chased out left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. They hand this off to Harris. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Wilson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Wilson to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Steelers, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they